Morning freaks, Tuesday morning, epic morning out on the bike, 40Ks in the legs, 8 reps up this steep as fuck hill. That's really cool, but I had a really late night last night. Like I got to bed at like 11. So I got an international order for a hat. And so I, assumed that it would just go through the exact same way, automatically creates a shipping label and all that kind of shit. But apparently it wasn't calculating the international import taxes. So I couldn't use the normal carrier that I use to create package labels and stuff. So I had to spend 3 hours going through every different kind of shipping, carrier that could do international shipping to find the best rate, which I eventually found. And then it wouldn't let me print out the actual label itself in the standard label printer. It kept printing it out in like an A4 fucking page. And on top of this, I still had to finish off and edit the video that I had to create yesterday, the questions and answers Monday. So I got to bed super late, super grim. I'm gonna go send this international package off and I need to fix the import tax calculator because it was not working. And so I could sit here and say, oh, the website's shit, it should have just automatically done it. I could do all of that, but it wouldn't actually address the fact that it was entirely my fault. And if I don't accept that it's my fault, then I'm just falling into the victim mentality. And that's what we're going to talk about today, right after I send off this damn package. Running has this interesting habit of having massive parallels with your life. If you learn something in your life, it helps you with running. And if you learn something with running, it helps you with life. And the biggest lesson that I've learned in the recent past is that everything that happens can be your fault if you have the right mentality. Let me explain. Let's say you run a race, right? How many times have you heard someone say, well, it just wasn't my day. The conditions were bad. Or even with people getting injured, like, oh, it's the shoes. It's, this, it's that. It's always your own decisions that kill your progress. The thing is, you probably pushed way too hard. You probably made terrible decisions on the worst days possible to result in you getting injured or, not getting your race time or things like that. And the most powerful thing that I've ever done is to drop this victim mentality, because when you drop this victim mentality, you actually gain power over the situation that you are in. Because what you can do is, rather than focusing on the outcomes of life in general, you can focus on what you can do to make it better in the future and what you can do right now to become a better person or a better runner or whatever it ends up being. And the thing is, even if something genuinely isn't your fault, if you have the mentality that it is your fault, you're gonna find some way to improve from every situation in your life. What a mind hack. Like, here's the deal. Last Wednesday, when I went out on the trails at 4 a.m, when it was completely dark, I slightly rolled my ankle a little bit and it got a little bit swollen and a little bit painful. And so I could very well have just been a victim in that situation and go, oh, I guess I'll just rest it and, eventually it'll come good. No, what I did was I said to myself, Connor, that was fucking stupid going out in the dark. Don't do that again on trails. Also, if you're rolling your ankle, clearly you have some ankle proprioception issues that need to be addressed. So you better do your ankle exercises 3 times a day for the next however long it takes until your ankle is better. And 5 days later, after smashing the shit out of these ankle exercises, my ankle feels perfect again. On Monday, I ran 6Ks and it felt absolutely fine. So that's the thing. Victim mentality is toxic. And look, I have not come to this mentality without absolute suffering and pain. Like, last year was fucking annoying. Like, at the start of the year, I got a stress fracture in my foot and I kind of assumed, I was probably just wearing the same footwear too much. Absolutely dumb. And then when it got better, I'd spent so much time sitting around that my hip was so inflamed. The nerve in my hip was so inflamed. And I just assumed that was like karma or something for doing something. But realistically, whether they were my fault or they weren't, they definitely were. I should act as if they are always my fault, because then there's an actionable response to a certain shitty situation that gets put right in front of you. Because as soon as you accept that everything is, on the most part, your fault, you can find things actionable to do instantly, and you can continue doing them until you are a better person or a better runner or a fitter athlete or a stronger athlete. You know, I did rehab exercises and mobility drills on my hip every day for like, I don't know, like 6 months. I did them religiously for 6 whole months. I also went to the gym every other day for 6 months to make sure that my legs were so strong so that when I got back into running and cycling and stuff, I would be absolutely sweet. And I also made sure that I kept my sleep in check all the time to make sure that my recovery was to the max and I ate really good food. I stayed as lean as I possibly could so that I didn't have any other barriers to get pissed off at when I actually got back, because that victim mentality means that you're more likely to go, oh, it wasn't my fault, everything's unfair. That means fuck everything else. I'm just going to let everything else go. And that is so hard to get out of. And I know because I was in it until I realized this. At the end of last year, I need to sort my shit out. Speaking of sorting my shit out, I've come to Officeworks again so that I can buy a printer so that I can use this printer for international shipping that has the customs form on it. I didn't know about this. I didn't know that a customs form existed. I didn't know about, you know, import taxes, you know, tariffs and all that shit. I don't know any of that, so now I've got to go buy a printer. So I'm fixing these issues rather than pretending that, you know, the website sucks because it didn't do everything automatically. Jeez. Man, I just got an email from Google to say that my Google ads are misrepresentation and they've taken them down. I mean, I could say that it's Google's fault, but I probably fucked something up. Just like, you know, I fucked up the printer thing and the international shipping, just like I fucked up getting a stress fracture, just like I fucked up destroying my hip last year. Just like you probably fucked up positive splitting your race, or you just fucked up by, you know, feeling your hamstring start to, you know, get a little bit achy and then doing one more rep and then it going ping. It's always your fault. Because everything is in your control. And as soon as you identify what things are in your control and what you can actually affect today to improve something, you have all the power again. You know, that's such a powerful thing. Remember guys, everything can be in your control. All you have to do is not be a victim. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Luke, thank you for the support.